My name is Brianna, and I'm an English conversation teacher, okay? So, today I will teach you about Halloween. Do you know Halloween? Okay, it's a very famous holiday in the U.S. and in England and Ireland and some other countries, okay? So it's a very big holiday there. And so I know your English might be a little difficult, but I will speak slowly, okay? And if you have any questions, just raise your hand, or if you need to go to the bathroom or get a drink of water, okay, just let me know, okay? Okay, so I'm first going to read about the history of Halloween, okay? And I'll read nice and slow, and then I'll explain a little bit about Halloween, okay? So I'll just read nice and slow. So this is the history of Halloween, okay? So Halloween is a holiday celebrated on the night of October 31st, right? So that's about next week, I believe, okay? The word Halloween is a short word for All Hallows Eve. Okay, so Halloween basically means All Hallows Eve. So they sound very similar. Traditional activities include trick-or-treating, bonfires, costume parties, visiting haunted houses, and carving jack-o'-lanterns, okay, so pumpkins. Irish and Scottish, so people from Ireland and Scotland, they came to the U.S. and they carried Halloween with them to North America, okay, so the continent of North America in the 19th century, so about 1800 that time, okay. Other Western countries added the holiday to their holidays in about 1900 and after, okay. So it's not every country that celebrates Halloween. Does Taiwan celebrate Halloween? No, okay. So not every country, okay. So most of the Western countries like United States, Ireland, England, some countries in Europe, okay, maybe France or some other countries, okay. Let's see here. So the history. So Halloween started as an ancient, that means very old, Celtic festival known as Samhain. Okay, so it started about 2,000 or more years ago. So it's a very, very old holiday. And it was called Samhain. It wasn't called Halloween, it was called Samhain. Okay. The festival, hello, come on in, hi. Can I have your student cards? Okay, so hello, my name is Brianna. Okay, today we are talking about Halloween. Do you guys know Halloween? Okay. So I'm going to read about the history of Halloween first, okay? And I'll go nice and slow, and then we'll talk more about it, okay? I'll explain. So I'll start again, okay? So once again, the history of Halloween, okay? So Halloween, okay, I'm going to start over. Halloween is a holiday celebrated on the night of October 31st. The word Halloween is short for All Hallows Eve. Okay, so Halloween means All Hallows Eve. Okay. Traditional activities include trick-or-treating, bonfires, costume parties, visiting haunted houses, and carving jack-o'-lanterns, which are pumpkins. Okay. People from Ireland and Scotland brought Halloween over when they moved to the U.S. and other countries like Canada, maybe South America, and other countries. Okay, so that's why countries in the west of the world celebrate Halloween, because those people came over and brought it with them. Let's see here. So Halloween history. So Halloween started in about 2,000 or more years ago. Okay, and it was an ancient, which means old, ancient means very, very old, Celtic festival known as Samhain. Okay, so 2,000 or more years ago, it wasn't Halloween, it was Samhain. Okay, Samhain sounds kind of the same. So the festival of Samhain is a celebration of the end of the harvest season. Okay, the end of the harvest season in Gaelic culture. Samhain was a time used by the ancient pagans to take stock of supplies and prepare for winter. The ancient Gaels believed that on October 31st, the boundaries between the worlds of the living and the dead overlapped, and the dead would come back to life and cause mischief, sickness, and they would damage crops, damage food, and damage houses. The festival would frequently involve bonfires. It is believed that the fires attracted insects to the area, which attracted bats to the area. These are additional attributes of the history of Halloween. Masks and costumes were worn in an attempt to mimic the evil spirits or appease them. Trick-or-treating is an activity for children on or around Halloween in which they go from house to house in costume, asking for treats such as candy and cookies, while asking the question, trick or treat. The trick part of trick or treat is a threat to play a trick on the homeowner or his property if no treat is given. Trick-or-treating is one of the main traditions of Halloween. It has become socially expected that if one lives in a neighborhood with children, one should purchase treats in preparation for trick-or-treaters. Okay, so the history of Halloween has changed over the years. It's not what it used to be, okay? So I'm going to explain a little more about Halloween, okay? So Halloween. Okay, so this is the holiday. It's on October 31st, okay? And Halloween means All Hallows Eve. Okay, All Hallows Eve. Eve means evening or night. So it's at nighttime, okay? But before, about 2,000 years ago, it was called Samhain. Okay, Samhain. And it was created by the Celts. These were people that lived in Ireland, England, Scotland, some parts of Europe. Okay, there were groups of people, and they just lived off the land. Okay, they did what they could to survive. Now they believed that on Samhain they needed to celebrate a harvest. Okay, so they spent all year preparing food for winter. So on this night, they celebrated the food they had prepared for winter. Okay, so winter's coming, they need corn and wheat and all carrots and celery and all good things to eat for the winter. But they also believed that on Samhain, on October 31st, a door between the living and the dead would be opened, and the dead would join the living. But they were not good dead. They were bad, evil, okay? So they would do bad things. They believed they would do bad things. They believed that the dead would make people sick, or they would hurt people, or they would hurt their food so they don't have food for winter, or maybe they would destroy things, okay? So they were scared of this day as well. So what they did is they made big fires, okay, big fires, and they stayed very close to those fires on Samhain night, okay, Samhain night. And they wore animal skins, okay, animal skins, okay, maybe wolves, bears, okay, all sorts of animals. They put the skins over their bodies to protect them, to try and scare away the evil dead, okay, the evil dead. So we can see that animal skins, they wore them like costumes, like we do today, okay? Now people wear witches and vampires and princesses and all sorts of things. Before, they wore animal skins. So that's where the idea of a costume started, okay? So now, 2,000 years later, okay, today, it's very different, okay? We have trick-or-treat, okay? Trick-or-treat. This is when little kids go with their mom and dad and they dress up as princesses and scary monsters, or maybe pumpkins, or maybe Elsa, or whatever, and they go and they take a bag and they go and knock on people's doors, okay, and they say trick or treat. The person opens the door and gives them candy, okay, but why does it say trick or treat? If the person does not give them candy, you are supposed to do a trick, okay, you're supposed to trick them. Maybe do something that scares them, or just trick them, okay? So that's what trick-or-treat is. We also have pumpkin carving, okay? So we take a big, nice big pumpkin, and we cut out the top and pull the stuff from inside, and then we make a face on the pumpkin, and we put a light inside and put it outside our house on Halloween night, okay? So that's pumpkin carving. We have costume parties, okay? Parties where we have fun and we dance and we play games and we wear our costumes. Some costume parties you can win prizes for the best costume. Maybe the most beautiful princess, or the coolest monster, or the scariest face, okay? So those are all things. We also do bonfires like before. We have big fires where everybody can stand around and talk together and just have fun. Okay, we have scary hay rides. Okay, so farmers, do you guys know what farmers are? Farmer, okay? They take their tractors, their big tractors, okay, and they have a place in the back for people to sit. And they take the tractor through the forest, okay? And sometimes they'll have people wearing costumes jump out and scare everybody on the tractor, okay? And then they go through the forest and it's very dark, okay? But it's really fun. The second thing farmers do is a corn maze, okay? So you know corn is kind of tall. Okay, so let's just pretend this is corn, okay? It does not look like corn, but corn is very tall. And corn, they have a lot together, right? Very close, so you can't see through corn. So farmers, they cut a path through their corn, and you can pay the farmer to walk through the path and find your way out. Okay? But in the path, you can get lost, or scary things, okay, scary people will jump out at you. Okay, so that's another thing we do. We also go to haunted houses. Okay, now they can be real houses or not real houses where you pay money. Okay, so every Halloween, some people, they make their houses look really scary, and they make it very dark inside, and you have to pay money to go in, okay, and get scared, okay, all sorts of scary things. Or you go to a real scary house that people have said, oh, there's a ghost in that house, okay, just to scare each other, okay. But most importantly, we have scary stories and movies, okay. There are a lot of scary stories and movies to tell and watch on Halloween. A lot of people like doing that. So that's another thing. Okay? So Halloween, it is a really fun holiday, but there's good and bad things about it. Okay, so there's good and bad things about Halloween. Okay, the good things are, it's fun. There's a lot of fun things to do. People like to get scared sometimes, okay? Little kids get lots of candy. You can get 4 bags of candy and you eat it all year, okay? What's not fun about that, okay? You can be who you want to be, okay? You can be a princess if you want to. You can be a rock star if you want to. You can be a scary monster if you want to. You can be Superman if you want to. Okay, so nobody's going to laugh at you for wearing a costume on Halloween. So you can be anything you want. You can do anything, okay? And you get to have fun with your family and your friends, okay? Friends go out together to scary haunted houses, or they go to parties together, okay? So it's a lot of fun. And once again, candy, lots and lots of candy. But